Hey y'all, I hope you're all doing well early on this Sunday morning. Yeah, it's around 7 o'clock or so. I've been up since about 5:30 making this plan with me video. I love planning. I love plan with me videos. I'm in a lot of different planner communities on Facebook, but I don't really make a lot of planning videos, and I do want to change that going into 2020 because I feel like, especially as a person with ADHD, planning is the only way that I can keep my goals and priorities straight because my mind is all over the place most of the time. So yeah, I do want to get into making more planning videos, so I figured why not kick 2020 off? Well, I can't believe I'm saying 2020, you guys. Like, I feel like 2019 was just here. But anyway, I figured I'd go ahead and kick 2020 off by doing my goals for the upcoming year. I'm going to be doing them in two parts because that's generally how I set up my goals. I do kind of like a vision board thingy that I like to keep in the front of my planner that I list all my goals out in so I can see exactly what it is that I want to accomplish and kind of have visuals to go with it, as well as having actionable steps. I actually do the SMART goal planning system, and I'll go ahead and leave in a card the preset that I had, not a preset, but a printable that I have for SMART goal setting. I have changed how I've done that just a little bit over the years, and so I'll show you guys an update on how I do my SMART goals as well, but I'll do that in another video because I didn't want this video to be too long. But anyway, let's jump into my goal setting for the year. So since I'm going with the scrapbook feel for my vision board, I'm using washi tape in blush and mint tones. I'm also using a sheet from Cloth and Paper, just a throwaway sheet. Also some scrap sheets from Recollection, again in blush and mint tones, and they have just some of the most beautiful foiled scrapbook paper I've seen in a long time. Also using my sprocket from HP so I can print out pictures and just easily stick them to my board. So now what I'm doing is just going ahead and cutting out some of these writing lined square thingies on these journaling card sheets from the Recollection scrapbook paper. And I figured that this would be really easy for me to write out my goals in a very pretty way, so I'm cutting that out, and then I will be cutting out some of the quote cards as well as some of the more geographic abstract cards, and then just using those to decorate my sheet after I write my goals so it looks really pretty and scrapbooky. If you are a person who needs your vision board or just everything in your planner to be minimal, then I suggest that this may not be for you because this may get too busy, but this is literally the only busy space in my planner, so I figured why not make it pretty. So now I'm taking some leftover scrap paper and just using it to cover up the half sheet because I was too lazy to go ahead and cut my own, so I figured why not just reuse, reduce, recycle here. But Cloth and Paper has really good sturdy weight paper, and so I figured this will also be really good paper to craft on top of. So I just cut out a little square to cover up the words and whatnot, and I'm using the washi to go ahead and tack that down. You can also go ahead and use like adhesive tape, which would probably have been smarter, but I had ran out and I didn't feel like running to the store because I was doing this during Edison's nap. So I just used washi tape instead. Use what you've got is how I felt here. So I am using one of the journaling cards as like a template here to cut out this like hexagonal floral pattern, which I think this is such a beautiful paper. And I'm laying everything out first before I go ahead and put the washi down. It's not like the washi is permanent or anything like that, but if you are using adhesive tape, you definitely want to do this first. That way you don't tack something down and then realize you don't like how it looks and then can't move it and have to start all over again. So once I get things in a place that I think looks nice, I'm going ahead and pulling out some washi and just, again, tacking everything down. And this looks like completely chaotic to me, you know, I'm going to be honest, but in a really scrapbooky type of way. And that's what I was going for here, something a little bit more fun and whimsical and not necessarily so business, since pretty much the rest of my planner is black and white. Okay, so now that I have everything where I want it to be, I am getting ready to set it down and write out my goals, so I figured I'd share them with you. So my first business goal is to buy a new investment property. We just bought our second house this year, and so I'm really excited about that. My second is to reach 2,000 on YouTube. I do plan on being more active this year. I know I say that every single year, but I do feel like I'm in a good place. We'll see by the time the baby comes. I also want to reach the goal of making 4K consecutively a month. I think that's really more obtainable for me. Make stronger connections with brands and other people I collab with. I feel like there was just so much going on this year that I wasn't able to really connect with, people who are basically considered my coworkers, and so I want to reach out and make, stronger connections with people, and also reach 10K on Instagram. I just reached 5K right before the end of the year, and so I want to go ahead and reach 10K. I think that is possible. I also put open up a shop because that has been a dream of mine for a long time. On the personal end, I have go to Spain, renovate our bathroom, go to Hawaii. All those I think are absolutely possible for this year. Renovate and use a space for our gym in our own home. I have a place set aside for that in the garage, and I think that can happen too. And then also make more time for my children and just the boys in general. I feel like when I get in my work modes, I kind of push everything to the side, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that type of parent. So now that I have all my goals written out, it's time to make this what makes it a vision board. And so I'm using my HP Sprocket, and I love this thing. It's absolutely perfect for travel. I use it for my traveling journal. Basically, all you do is just open up the app and then select the photos you want to print them, and then boom, it's done. And then you can also attach like audio or video to the photos, and you can scan the photos, and with the app you can see those memories later as well. So it's a really good way to have like interactive memories on your pictures. I just kept it simple and printed out a bunch of photos that were meaningful for me for this year that I feel can really motivate me for next year. So I printed out a bunch of pictures of us traveling, me when I took my first pregnancy photos, when we bought our forever home, which I'm really excited about. And yeah, I just took a whole bunch of photos so I can choose from them later. I'm using a really small space, so I'm not going to be able to use them all, but yeah. So before I peel them and stick them down, because you can do that with this paper, I am just trying to lay everything out first, again, because you don't want to like stick things down and then it be in the wrong place and you just be mad with it and have to start all over again. So I'm using this picture here for when I hit 5,000 on my Instagram, the day of that photo shoot. And then I was going to use this picture of us in Chicago, but then I decided to use this picture that we just recently got taken. We just recently got our family photos done, and the next time we get our family's photos done will be with our new baby, and so I'm really excited about that. And so yeah, I don't need to use the washi tape to tack these down. I was thinking about putting washi tape in the corner, but then it's already pretty busy, and so I decided against that for this. Okay, so next I have flipped the paper over to decorate the back side as well, and I'm using this hexagonal paper from Recollections. I love the foil on this paper. It's so freaking beautiful, but I'm just cutting it down to size. Again, for me, it doesn't have to be perfect because I'm going to be using the journaling cards and the photos to cover over it. So yeah, I am just cutting off the excess, and so that it looks like at least neat in the planner. Now I'm laying out different journaling cards and tacking them down with washi. Again, you can also use tape adhesive, which would probably actually work out a little bit better, but I use the washi to get the real scrapbook effect. But honestly, like, it's working, but I might actually go back now that I've like re-upped on my adhesive and kind of tack it down a little bit more. Now I'm playing around with this quote card. I had wanted 2 quote cards, but honestly, since the half sheets are so small, like there just wasn't enough space and I didn't want to overcrowd it, so I just went with this one that says find beauty in everything. I think that's a really wonderful quote to have going into 2020, especially since 2020 is like vision. I just thought about that. That's really cool. Yeah, like finding vision. Anyway, so now I'm just taking my photos and I'm laying them out. I wanted to have as many photos as possible, but again, even though these photos are small, it's a small sheet, so I think I'm only able to really fit 4 in a way that's aesthetically pleasing to me. So I'm just moving them around in a way where I feel like it looks nice to me. The photos that I chose were Steven and I in Chicago in June, and you can kind of see Edison in the corner there in his stroller, but we were under a fountain. It was really, really pretty. Then also the photo that I'm putting down now is Steven and me during our holiday photo shoot, and I love how that picture came out of us. I also have a picture of me and Edison by the sold sign for our forever home, and that was just before we closed on that property. And then the last picture I have here that's currently in my that was in my hand was Edison at Steven's house the last time, or Steven's parents' house the last time we were there, before we were getting ready to sell that property. And I love that photo too. That was just before Edison turned 1. So yeah, that's just such a pretty photo of him. But yeah, I'm just tacking these photos down, and that is pretty much it for the vision board. So now that my vision board is done, I am placing it in my planner. I am not placing this in the goals section of my planner. I'm placing it in the front because I feel like that way I'm going to see it every day. But yeah, it looks so beautiful and good in there, and I'm just so happy I went this route. I absolutely love it. So I realized I didn't close the video out either. I'm really bad about intros and outros and videos, you guys. But yes, that is my vision board for the year. Here it is actually in my planner for day-to-day use, and I just think it's just absolutely beautiful. I love looking at this thing. Like, it's literally one of the first things I see when I come to my desk in the morning. Like, you know, I see my goals and then I go straight into my to-do list, or actually I go straight into my sign-in sheet, then I go into my to-do list. But yeah, I love looking at this. For me, it's a bit more chaotic than the rest of my agenda, but I do find it just really pretty to look at. It's a nice pop of color for otherwise kind of sterile agenda, in my opinion. So I do really love this. So if you do this too, definitely go ahead and let me know. I would love to see how your vision boards or your goal setting for 2020 comes out. I'm just really interested in that. I like to see what other people's goals are for the year, and I love to see how they set it up and visualize it in a way that they can actually tackle it and progress on it and achieve those goals. Anyway, I want to stop rambling. I'm going to go get breakfast, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Bye!